Hello everyone, Richard, David here. It's Friday, another Ask the Broker.
That's right.
In today's Ask the Broker, we're seeing lots of confusion toward the end of an escrow, let's say the last couple of weeks of an escrow, as to what happens and when, especially with new agents. David, can you take us from about 2 weeks out and tell us like what kind of order and what things we should be looking for?
Yeah. All right, so we're 2 weeks into the escrow, which means basically inspections have been done, appraisal's been done, deposits been made, where all the loan is basically finalized, or we have final loan approval. So
hopefully.
Yeah. So let's say you've all come to terms with all of that stuff and that's behind us. So this shows about what happens from that point to closing. So there's a lot of confusion around the CD. And if you don't know what the CD is, that's the closing disclosure, and that's issued by the lender to the buyer, to the buyers. And many newer agents or agents think, yay, we're closing, because it's the closing disclosure is out.
Yeah.
But you're not quite there yet, because the closing disclosure is basically a document that gets sent to the buyers showing the terms of their loan, the rate, the amount they're financing, the APR, all that good stuff. The buyer has to acknowledge that, and they have to wait 3 days. There's a right of rescission period before they can sign their loan docs. So it's very important that as soon as the buyer gets it, they quickly review it and get that document signed and sent back to the lender, because they're not allowed to sign their final loan docs until that 3-day period's up.
Okay.
So if there's any sort of delay, that could delay the transaction. So you have the CD. Once the 3 days pass, the lender will get the loan docs out, and those go to the title and escrow company. And then what happens there?
Well, you get them signed.
Yeah.
You get the buyer to sign them. Then after you've signed them and notarized them, which title company does for us, thank you very much for that, then it's sent back to the lender wherever they're at, and usually they're out of town somewhere, where they fund the loan. And when they fund it, that means it's being wired to the title company. In between there, you have final verification.
Yeah. Definitely before you close escrow, you want to do a final walkthrough, make sure the property is in the same condition as it was at the beginning or after inspections, or things have been repaired and that sort of thing, and move forward.
And then when the lender has now gotten it back, everything's signed, they review it one more time. If they find it in good condition, good shape like it was when they okayed the loan, then they ask for the loan to be funded and wired.
Now on the funding and the reviewing of the loan docs, every lender is a little bit different. Some do it really, really quick. They can get the loan docs back via a scanned copy from the title company, and they can literally, if everything's there and checked off, someone can fund that same day or the very next day. Other lenders could be a little bit longer process. They need the documents, physical documents back to review and then fund. If their closing department's slow, they could take a couple days to fund the loan.
Yeah, we just went through that.
Yeah, so there's another degree of difference between lenders, is how quick is their closing department? And that's a great question for the lenders you're working with, because it could really determine whether you close on time or not. So the last step, and the most exciting one, the second to last step, I would say, is the money's received by the title and escrow company. Once they have receipt of that money, they can request for the deal, the transaction, to be recorded down at the county recorder's office.
And recorded is what we call closed.
Yeah.
Closed is done. They've changed the name from the seller to the buyer, and it's recorded downtown, and buyer, it's your house, and you get the keys, and we get paid.
Yes, and there could be a little confusion around that. So the word closed, it's been recorded. What's the third one that you've heard before that all mean the same thing? Closed, recorded, on record.
On record, and yay.
Yeah, so those three all mean basically the same thing, as the ownership of the house, the property, has been transferred from the previous owner to the buyers. So don't be confused if you hear those words kind of intermixed a little bit.
Yeah. So remember, just when it's funded doesn't mean it's closed yet. Just when the CD comes out doesn't mean it's closed yet.
Yep.
Just because the lender said, yes, we have approval, it's not closed yet. You still have those other steps.
Yep.
So keep that in mind so you won't
Jump
get
the
too
gun.
jump the gun, get too excited. That's right.
Yep, and then obviously the last thing, when it is closed and recorded, you get to hand over the keys to the new owners and go celebrate. So
Right on.
hopefully that explains, there's a lot of little steps there, but hopefully that helps explain the final process of a sale of an escrow, a sale of a property, and maybe to get more specific details on this, it's also good to talk to the lender, get their point of view, get that process down, but that's a general overview from CD to closing.
Yep, that'll do it. So if you have questions about that, give us a call. And this is just another version of Ask the Broker.
All right, we'll see you on the next one.